Welcome to our book on normal distribution for 3-period mathematics. Now this starts off very easily with question 1, and we'll move on through the whole workbook until you gain an understanding of normal distribution. So the first thing is, you'll see here we've got standard deviation and we've got a mean. And we discussed that in the previous workbook that we had, mean being mu and standard deviation being sigma. And we talked about the spread of data from the mean, which is the standard deviation. And we talked about the mean also prior. So moving on from this, just to get us going with the start of normal distribution, what we need to find is one standard deviation from the mean. What is that number? So the first thing we'll do is write down what the mean is. So the mean is 60. The standard deviation, u sigma, that's 7.5. Now I got that from here, and I got the 60 from here. And all these questions here will be using these same numbers. Now to start with, the question says one standard deviation from the mean. Now the mean is mu, so that's mu. Standard deviation is sigma, and we want to do one of these standard deviations. So I'm going to write that down, mu plus sigma, one standard deviation. Now I can see that 60 plus 7.5, that's what this here is. We add them up and you get 67.5, and that's one standard deviation from the mean. You can use the calculator. You can see I've got it here on the right beside me. Now here we've got, again, we're going to write down the things we have. This here is mu, which equals 60. Sigma equals 7.5. Now this time I want to do a mean, and I want to take away two standard deviations from that. So that's going to be mu, which is the mean, minus 2 standard deviations. So mu is 60 minus 2 times 7.5. Remember, sigma is 7.5. We can use our calculator for that if you want, or we can do it by hand. It's up to yourself. If you were to use your calculator, just punch in the numbers, minus 2 times 7.5, and you get 45. Next is 3 standard deviations from the mean. So mu equals 60, sigma equals 7.5. Now we're going to do the mean, and we're going to add on 3 standard deviations. So that is going to be 60 plus 3 times 7.5. And again, you can use your calculator for that. 60 plus 3 times 7.5. And you're going to get 82.5. Moving on here, and you can pause this video at any stage and do these questions yourself and then look back. But we'll write down what the mean is. Mean is 60, and the standard deviation is 7.5. So it's going to be the mean minus 0.5 standard deviations. That's 60 minus 0.5 times, and substitute the standard deviation in here for this. And we'll type that in, 60 minus 0.5 times 7.5. And you're going to get your answer, which equals, I'm going to write new line, 56.25. Now the next question says, what value lies 2.5 standard deviations above the mean? So we'll start by writing what we know down. Mu is 60, sigma is 7.5. And we're going to write down 2.5 standard deviations above the mean. So that's going to be 60 plus 2.5 times sigma. That's the standard deviation. So it's 60 plus 2.5 times 7.5, and this is going to be our answer. So it's 60 plus 2.5 times 7.5, and we've got our answer, which is 78.75. It is the last question we're going to do for this video. And if a value is 75, How many standard deviations is it above the mean? So we've got a mean of 60 and a standard deviation of 7.5. And we want to know how many standard deviations above the mean do I have to get until I get to 75. So I've got 60 plus 7.5, and that's going to give me 67.5. Now that's still not at 75. So I need to add on another standard deviation. So 67.5 plus 7.5, I'll add that on, and that gives me 75. So I've added on one standard deviation, two standard deviations. That's the standard deviation. And I've added on two of those. So I've added on two standard deviations. Thank you for watching. I hope that's helped.